What's up, fellow tech geeks? Caleb from IT Provisor here, and today I've got a special treat, more so for me than it is for you guys, but still, I thought you'd appreciate seeing an unboxing and first impression of the Apple Watch Ultra. Mine finally came in the other day, and I'm ready for the first time to open it up and see what Apple's latest and greatest, and also biggest to boot, Apple Watch is all about. So without further ado, let's dive in. Alright, so just like with any other Apple Watch, it comes in a nice little clean white box with the pull tabs on the back. And this case though, I'm sure you probably noticed that this is actually a bigger box. It's not a full rectangle, but more of a almost a squarish design. So that's definitely a departure from past Apple Watches. And of course what we do first is let's open this up. Pull that right there. Actually, I was going to mention too, while opening this up, I noticed that the material is actually more of like a paperish rather than a plasticky material. So something I guess that makes a little more premium of an experience, I suppose at least. Anyway, let's open this up now, and ooh, right away I'm seeing a more premium looking Apple Watch experience with the nice cool graphics right here. And a cool little booklet that actually kind of reminds me of the Apple Watch editions from the past. Nice. So you get the Alpine Ocean Trail Loop. It shows you how you can basically put on your band, how you can install the charger, all that cool stuff. Shows you what's new about it, the side button, the bigger crown, the action button, the orange action button. And then we also have the Fit digital watch faces. It shows you like the ocean configuration, cool, the diving, and oh, let's see what's in here. Oh, we just have paperwork. That's pretty much it. And now let's take a look at the Apple Watch itself. So I got the Ocean Band in white. So I'm definitely looking forward to trying that out for my swimming and just everyday exercises. And then of course the Apple Watch itself. There's a cool little graphic. I'll move that out of the way for now. And then let's do the pull tabs here. One gone. Boom. And then let's get this back up here. And there it is. So we got, what's in here? Ah, okay. So we've got, for the first time ever in Apple Watch, USB-C to the charging puck braided cable. So nice touch too, as Apple is going more away from Lightning to USB-C, so that's good for, I guess, future-proofing it for your future-proofed Apple Watch, I guess, for as long as Apple supports at least. And then here we go, the star of the show, the big boy himself. I think the way you can just open this up is just pulling off this side here. Ooh, look at that. So this year I've noticed that, first off, you'll notice right away the bezel is more flat around the edges. And the back also has a ceramic, like prior Apple Watches, but also too, the color's different. It's not black, but it's actually more of like a, I'd say from the lighting here, silver whitish. So nice change. International orange button, which we'll look into a little more later. And then the digital crown, which is bigger than the Apple Watch. And actually, if I pull up my Apple Watch here, not wearing it at the particular moment, but you'll notice the difference in size right away, along with the button being, I'd say, fairly a little bit, about the same size, but definitely, it's a little bit bigger. Again, I'll turn on the screens and compare it a little bit later, but basically it's a pretty cool premium experience so far. What I'm going to do next is set it up, and then let's take a look and see how it differs from the Apple Watch Series 7 that I have. So let's take a look at the Ocean Band here. I'll do the pull tab. Move this out of the way for a second. And it tells you right here how to attach the band, slide it in. So you'll notice right here the band itself, and also the extra pin, which looks like you basically pull it out, and then you basically can attach it to your band wherever you need to have that kind of that loop strap that so you don't have it sticking out. Basically, it's like a traditional watch band that has like a leather band or a classic buckle, what have you. So basically, let me see if I can slide this on here. Slide it in. Slide it in. I can already tell you just from how it looks and feels, it's going to be a bulkier for sure, but maybe not as heavy or about the same heaviness as my Series 7. And it looks like right here, what you have to do is pop it where you need. So let's try this real quick actually. So if I take this right here, and just pull it until it's pretty much as tight as I need to make it. So that means then if my strap goes about right here, that means I probably want to insert it probably about right here or so. So then I just pop that back in. Probably can't do it one-handed here, but let's try it real quick here. There we go. And then just put it in a nice hole. And then, boom. So now, basically, you have a nice fit. It looks pretty good to boot. Actually, I don't think it's so bad. Feels pretty much like Apple's fluoroelastomer, however you want to say it, band. I'm sure one of you guys in the comments can tell me how you say it exactly, but it looks pretty good, feels pretty good, and I think this would be actually a pretty good band to do every day. So you can see right here. Alright, so next off, I'll get this set up, and then we'll get going from there. Okay, so after putting on the watch, I can tell you right away, even though it's made out of titanium, which is actually lighter than stainless steel, it is actually a few grams heavier than my stainless steel Series 7. But at the same time, the lighter weight of the titanium makes it lighter than it would normally otherwise be if it were in stainless steel or heavier material for that matter. So it's actually, you feel it, but you don't. You definitely feel a presence, and you definitely see a presence, as again it's thicker than my Series 7, but at the same time it's actually not really as bad as you may think. Bulkier for sure, but then again too, that goes to its ruggedness. So this watch right here should be able to take, according to Apple's website, up to 100 meters water resistance, tested to the military standard 810H3, which I'm not sure exactly what that is, but this just means that it's tough. And also IP6X dust resistance, which is the same as the Series 7. But what this has going over for it is, again, more durability. And also, too, you'll notice that the screen right here is flat. So that means that these bezels help protect the screen from any potential destruction that you may otherwise do with a non-Ultra Apple Watch. It has a louder speaker, which I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, how loud does it actually go? It's the siren, the emergency siren that you can do on this Apple Watch, goes so loud that people can hear, I think it was up to 600 some odd meters away. So very loud. And just to prove that to you, if I press and hold the side button right here, I'm not doing a workout, but I can do the siren. Let's listen to how loud this thing really is. Yep, quite loud. You maybe can't really tell so much unless you hear it in person, but it's loud, especially if it's right by your ear. It's like almost like not ear piercing, but it's totally loud. That's a good thing because, hey, if you're out hiking, if you're doing any type of sport where maybe you get lost, you could be heard, at least from the echoes from where, if you happen to be in maybe a mountainous area or a valley or whatever where sound can travel and echo better, this thing could potentially be a lifesaver. So that's good. Okay, so next up we have one of the new watch faces for watchOS 9 that's exclusive to the Apple Watch Ultra, the Wayfinder watch face, which is pretty cool because you have up to 8 complications that you can fit, including also showing cellular when you're not on Wi-Fi. Let's go ahead and dive in right now and take a look and see how that looks. Long tap, new, and you'll see right here you have new watch faces that you can look at from watchOS 9. If I tap that, let's scroll through the list here until we get towards the very bottom and hit Wayfinder, which you only find on Apple Watch Ultra. Hit add, and right away we have the bezel style, which can either be seconds or minutes, depending on how you want to look at it, since it counts up to 60, or we can go up to hour, which has basically the hours of the day, divided into 12 hours since it's not a 24-hour clock. I personally like the 12-hour better, so I'm going to do that. Next, we'll look at the bezel. So first off, we have latitude and longitude. So if you scroll down, you can also look and see for elevation and incline, or none. In my case, I like none. It looks cleaner, a little more space. So I'm going to leave it right there. Next, we go to color. Now we have Adventure Orange by the default. However, we have different colors that you can look at as well here if we go through and scroll through. Let's go up. You have Performance White, Ocean White, and also Adventure White. Now I like Adventure White because it matches best with the Ocean Band, so let's do that. And then now we have complications. As I mentioned earlier, you can fit up to 8 different complications on this watch face, including also cellular, which shows up if you're not on Wi-Fi hooked up to your phone. So in this case, let's just go through a few of these here and take a look and see what I can fit on here just to show for illustration's sake. Just choose that, go through here, choose that, scroll, choose that. And also on the top right here, the top middle, you have the default of the calendar, but you also have the personalization with your monogram, stopwatch, timer, or what have you. In this case, I'm just going to stick with calendar. And boom, that's what the new Wayfinder looks like on the new Apple Watch Ultra. Also too, if we tap on the hour mark here, you'll notice that now it changes to a directional compass, which is pretty cool. And if you move it around, you always see what true north is on the arrow right there you see on the top. So I keep moving it around like that, and I always know which way true north is. Tap again to exit out, and that's the new Wayfinder watch face exclusive to the Apple Watch Ultra. As far as the screen size difference is concerned, despite the 4mm difference between my 45mm Series 7 and 49mm Ultra, there's really no difference in size, which is a little disappointing since I was expecting at least a little more screen space. However, that's not to say that the Ultra's 410 by 502 pixel screen resolution doesn't have its advantage over the Series 7/8's 396 by 484 pixel screen resolution. When viewing content, you'll have a slight vertical advantage over the Series 7 and 8, which counts for something, right? The digital crown is definitely bigger as well, as I mentioned earlier, versus the Series 7. Hopefully you guys can see that pretty well here. But what's nice about it actually is that it's grippier. So the edges are more perforated and they're easier to rotate or easier to grip, especially if you're wearing gloves. That was kind of the idea behind Apple doing that. And this is also guarded, so that means you're not going to have the entire crown be something that's exposed to potentially hitting it or damaging it, at least not as much. So that's a plus for people who are maybe prone to accidents, whatever you want to call it. I would be remiss if I didn't mention another subtle but cool feature added exclusively to the Ultra and its Wayfinder face: night mode. Simply rotate the digital crown up to invoke this rather stealthy looking all red appearance for low visibility conditions which usually present themselves, well, at night. This feature has another benefit of using less battery by lighting less pixels thanks to the Ultra's OLED screen. Alright, so it's been 3 whole weeks since I got this Apple Watch Ultra, set it up, and started to use it. 3 weeks is a long time, but I had the time to do it, so I wanted to thoroughly test out to make sure whether or not this Apple Watch Ultra is worth keeping over my Series 7. And is it, you may wonder? Well, let's get to the verdict in a bit. First, quick key things about this Apple Watch. The biggest reason to upgrade, which I'm sure a lot of people are considering upgrading for, is the battery life. According to Apple, it's 36 hours for mixed use cases for exercise, cellular use, and some apps, just basically everyday usage, thanks to its 70% larger capacity battery versus the Series 8 or Series 7 in this case. That's definitely a huge thing for me. I love the battery. I definitely got use out of it. I've noticed from my own use cases that 36-hour mark is very conservative. Realistically, I got about 3 days worth of usage just from, say, about an hour of exercise and using apps and a little bit of cellular for like podcast streaming and stuff, especially while I was walking out and about. So that's very impressive. Apple has a very good track record of under promising and over delivering, which is awesome. So no complaints about that. So what you hear about the battery life, take that and put it beyond your expectations because it's pretty awesome. And then the other big reason I upgraded for this watch was the screen. If you're upgrading for the screen, or as one of the reasons is the screen, the brightness is definitely the reason to do it, not so much because of it's a bigger screen. Now, granted, the flat screen may make it easier for some people to work with, what have you. I'm not sure. Me personally, I actually found that I missed my Series 7's curved edges. It made swiping on the Apple Watch easier, I think, versus the Ultra's flat edge, which made it a little bit harder to kind of smoothly transition from one side to the other. So that's, again, I know this is all subjective, but for me, that was more of a negative than a positive. But that screen brightness, nice. Literally, it makes it twice as easy to see out in direct sunlight or any bright light source versus the Series 7 or Series 8 with the 1000 nit screen that it has versus the Ultra's 2000. So that's a nice advantage, nice feature, a nice actual hardware upgrade slash difference versus the regular Apple Watches. So that's something to consider if you're looking to upgrade to this as well. And also too, the action button is pretty cool. I got use out of that a little bit. Not too much. It's not as useful as I thought it could be, but really I just go walking with it. When I do the action button, I just press the button, and it just starts it. Convenient, but honestly, especially with complications that you have on all these different watch faces that you can do, it's literally just saving you one extra tap. I mean, honestly, I go to my watch face, I tap the exercise button, and then I just do outdoor walk and go. So it's just saving me one extra step, so it's not really that much more invaluable of a feature. So now also too, another thing about this watch is the bands. The bands are not exclusive to it, but I found that through my time using this band, wearing it, as long as I had enough room with the one finger, the index finger, through the band here, it wasn't too tight. Never was a problem. It would dig in if, say, my wrist expanded from exercising, so that was a negative, but then again, too, any watch band, anything you wear on your body in general, if it's too tight, even a shirt, whatever, it's going to feel bad. It's not going to be comfortable throughout the day. So definitely want to make sure that you wear it loosely or loose enough, but not too tight. This band, though, was set up to all the tasks I put it through, swimming, walking, all that stuff. Easy to clean off from the sweat. Now, with all that said, going through the paces, putting it through my everyday routine, putting it through all the different mixed use cases that Apple themselves have stated, is this Apple Watch something that after Apple Care Plus and lovely California tax, is it worth the $960 some odd that I paid to keep it? For me, that's actually going to be a no. Now look, when I first started this, like a lot of other people, ooh, something new, something different from Apple. I want to try it out. I want to see it. It looks really cool. I think I like this more than the Series 7 or the standard blah, I guess you can say, Apple Watch design that hasn't changed since the original. Well, Once that wore off, I can tell you that I found myself actually missing that blah or more boring design to some people Apple Watch Series 7 that I have. Again, besides the looks, I just like some of the extra, well, not extra, but some of the things that you don't really know you're missing until you get something different. Like, again, that curved edge and just the nice shiny look of the stainless steel and all that stuff. The biggest thing I'm going to miss with this Apple Watch is the battery life because, again, not having to charge it for several days potentially, definitely game changing. And I really hope that Apple implement putting this into or trickling this down into newer Apple Watches like the Series 9, regular non Ultra watches. If you're thinking about getting the Ultra and whether or not it's for you, consider its use cases. The better battery life, the brighter screen. Are those things important to you? Are you like Apple's original intended audience for this Ultra? Are you someone who likes to go hiking, doing more extreme things, like to do biking or whatever? And you can actually get use out of the extra ruggedness that this Apple Watch gives, utilitarianness of it, so to speak. Thoroughly test it. Try it out like I did. Make sure it's worth the extra money. And again, that's something that only you can decide at the end of the day. With that said, thank you so much for watching this review. It took me a little bit of time to thoroughly test it out, but I think the wait was worth it because, at least for me, it helped me decide whether or not this is something that I wanted to keep. And I'm hoping, too, that this also helps you decide whether or not you want to even try doing it and what to look out for and what to expect reasonably. So if you liked it, you found it useful, please like this video. Just take a moment to hit that thumbs up to help with the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you also subscribe too and hit that notification icon so you don't miss anything new. Thank you so much. This is Caleb from IT Provisor. Until next time, keep geeking out. Bye. Did you find that Apple Watch Ultra review useful? Well then, you'll probably find this useful as well. It goes a little more in depth about the screen brightness difference between the Series 7 and Ultra. Go ahead, I'll give you a few seconds. I'm not going to be a jerk or rush you or anything. Click it, tap it. I'll wait a little bit.